Okay, I have two new captures to share. I like to name the fun things I see in the sky, so the first capture I'm calling the square, and the second one I'm calling the shapeshifter. Now, the first thing I should say, the square definitely sounds like a plane. I'm going to have the original sound on all these videos so that you can hear it for yourself. So I might be an idiot, but I actually figured it was a plane until I reviewed the footage later and saw that it looked like a freaking square, not a plane. So with that all said, I thought it'd be cool to show some examples I've recorded over this past year of different planes and a few helicopters so that we have some visuals to compare to the square. And now here's the footage of the square. I should preface this by saying that the footage isn't very long. I didn't think at the time that it was anything special or out of the ordinary, so I decided not to follow it with my scope. So there's a story that goes with this one. I packed up for the night, threw everything inside the house, and realized I forgot my tablet outside. I went outside and looked up and saw what I thought was an airplane, but it looked off to me. It looked like it was in the clouds or maybe enveloped in fog, but I couldn't get a clear look at it. If this was in the clouds, then this thing was really big. It looked to me like it was flying low, like the first airplane example I showed in this video. It had white blinking lights at what looked like the wingtips and red and green lights underneath. The red and green lights I describe as more pulsing rather than blinking. So I'm staring at this when two things hit me. One, I realized there was no engine noise. And two, I realized that it was actually moving slow for a plane. And at this point, I thought I could probably run back into the house, grab my night vision scope, and hopefully catch what I was seeing. So the time it took me to get my scope and start recording was probably 30 seconds tops. And this is that footage. And in that 30 seconds from me getting the scope and recording, this thing went from a plane-shaped craft glowing like a Christmas tree to this very faint dot flashing really bright. And the footage is shaky because I didn't want to take the time to set up the tripod and risk missing anything. Personally, this was hands down the weirdest thing I've seen in the sky to date.